Mould and mildew, isn't it the worst when you get it on your carpet or your rug? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today. Mould and mildew on your rug and how we can deal with it.
Okay.
So Pierre, it's a problem that
yeah, you like to
having.
give me a difficult one,
well, I'm
don't you?
sorry, but it's a, we need the answers.
Yes,
we need
sure.
the answers, and you are the man.
Okay, so let's see what we can do. Unfortunately, I've got some news here that maybe not be so good, and that is there's no easy fix. Probably the easiest fix to prevent your rug from mildew or save your rug from mildew and mold is to prevent it happening in the first place.
So dealing with a spill straight away.
That's right. Dealing with a spill straight away. Hang your rug outside, let it dry. Don't just leave it and think I'll deal with it later. So prevention is better than cure. When it comes to these things, prevention is always better than cure. So what I would advise is you somehow have a significant spill and the rug got half wet and you think, oh, I'll deal with it later. You will probably regret it later because that rug will stay wet for a long while, especially if it lays flat.
On the carpet, yeah.
So in another video we talked about how to clean your own rug and how to dry the rug. So if you have that happen, let's say the bath overflow, it's clean water that got to the rug and you don't have to worry then. But if it is contaminated water, what's also referred to as grey water, that means that we would need to get the rug cleaned. So,
properly.
Something spilled on the rug. You know what, let's say the bath overflowed and the rug got wet. It's clean water, no problem. Take the rug, hang it out to dry. Now, we talked about it before in the previous video of have a large tube-like structure where you can hang the rug over, so that you don't have that sharp fold. So don't hang it on the washing line, because that's going to create a sharp fold. And the washing line will actually create an ear on the rug. So because the line pulls down when you hang, it will have a bit of an odd shape to it, so that so the ears on the rug, we don't want that. So you want a solid structure where it's going to hang, and you want to hang it over a large thing so it's got a nice curve. Yep. So that's if you have a spill on the rug and it's wet and you think let's try it quick, so we get there, and of course
that's clean.
That's clean water. So also it would help to speed up the drying process is to have something to extract clean it with. You can have something like a Vax or a rug doctor or something that would lift the moisture out of the rug. That would help a lot. Do not leave the rug lay down flat. That would not help, right? In severe cases where literally the water is dripping out of the rug, especially if the rug is thick, it's best to get to a rug cleaning company, because
they can get the water out.
We can get the water out straight away, or the rug cleaning company, especially if they have a centrifuge machine. This is a big machine with a tube that turns, so they put the rug inside and they spin the rug and the water comes out. It has happened to us in the past where literally it's a clean rug, it's spilled on air, we put it in the machine, put it in the drying room, dry it, and it's good to go again. In many cases, unfortunately, it's best to clean the rug, because especially if it's been used even for a few weeks, there's soil in there, the soil dilutes with the water, and before you know it,
so even though you put clean water on it, it could be contaminated.
If it's a very dirty rug, even if it's a clean water, it's still a risk.
Okay.
So that's the first thing if it would happen. Now, of course, if there's grey water, or sometimes referred to as black water, which is sewage, then it's much safer to get the rug to a professional for cleaning, because if you dry it out
as soon as possible,
because
that I'm going with the mould. Once you've got it in there, it's a bit like I've got a problem with mould on my ceiling at the moment.
Yes,
no matter how much we're cleaning it off,
yes,
it just keeps coming back.
It keeps coming back. It depends on the temperature. So it is very important to do that. The other thing is also, if your rug is soaking wet and it's going to take a day or two for a professional to come and pick it up, if you have the means of soaking it totally in water and leaving it in the water, that's better than leaving it rolled up half dry on the side.
What? So even if you're getting it to a professional?
Even if you get it to a professional, it is better to leave the rug in a bath of water than to leave it half wet sitting somewhere, because that's going to create more mold growth. But of course that opens the risk of more colour migration on the rug, and also what type of rug it is. So it is important to rather get some advice. But if it's a woven rug, then, and there's no colour migration, then leave the rug wet is better than sort of have the rug half wet, half dry, laying in a pile. Otherwise, take the rug, hang it up somewhere so that it can dry real quick. Exactly. So if you just have a very clean rug and there's clean water on it, dry it yourself. If the rug is dirty and it's clean water, get it professionally cleaned and dried. If there's grey water on it, this is, the water from, say, the the radiators, or water, slightly dirty water, rainwater coming from outside through the gutters or things like that. That's grey water. Then black water is called toilet and sewerage and things like that. In those cases, many times it's better and safer to dispose of the rug, but it can still be saved.
But a professional's the only way you're going to do that is by
absolutely professional cleaning. You probably would need to clean that rug many times. So that's prevention, definitely, with regards to mold on rugs is much better than trying to have a remedy there to treat it yourself.
Because there isn't a remedy really.
And
once the mold is actually formed and
exactly, then it creates problems, which we'll talk about in a moment. But the thing is, you cannot remove what you put on the rug because you don't have the machine to rinse the rug and put it in a machine and remove the water. That's the biggest problem. The spinning thing, also known as a centrifuge. Yeah. The other thing is, what can happen if you now have sort of thought, I've saved the rug. I think I've saved the rug. It's taken 2 weeks, but it's dry now. The risk is the foundation of the rug. This is if my fingers would be the fibers of the rug standing up. The foundation is the bottom of the rug that holds the whole thing together. That starts to rot, and the rug looks okay. But then what happens in our world is we go pick this rug up 4 years down the line. Somebody goes, can you clean my rug? Take the rug. Well, okay, we'll clean the rug. Put the rug in the bath, start washing it, and it comes apart.
Oh.
And now we're like, well, we didn't cause that. And of course, somebody owning that rug would go, well, actually, you did, because you took it back. It was in one piece, and now it's
fine when we gave it to you.
Now that is because there's a rot in the foundation because of what has happened in the past of the rug, and now suddenly the rug is falling apart. We've seen that happen with a particular Chinese 90 line, a thick rug, where literally the back of the rug just fell apart.
Oh, wow.
Just a big hole like that appeared on the rug because of dry rot. And some of that can be caused, or can be started due to moisture that's been introduced, and then it's been dried, and bacteria and all those things. So to recap, what can you do? Prevention is better than cure. A little bit of water on there, and the rug is clean, hang it to dry, that's fine. Grey water, black water, or severe dirty rug with then water on it's probably better to get a professional to do it, but you can try and dry it by using an extraction machine, but understand that there might be odours coming from that, and if there's odours coming from that, it's better to get it professionally clean.
Okay.
So I hope that helps.
We do hope that helps. If you've got any other questions or anything you need to know, give us a shout. I'll link down below the NCCA.
Yes. In case somebody's out of the area.
Yeah, just in case you're out of our area, because obviously we're not in everyone's area. We wish we were, but we're not. Yeah, thank you, and we'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.